Hi. Well, today's topic is going to be past perfect. So, let's see. First of all, we're going to see what is past perfect. And the second point, we're going to see the functions of the past perfect, when to use it. So, then we're going to see the structure of the past perfect. Then finally, we are going to see some examples. So let's move on. So, what is past perfect? The past perfect tense is one of the common verb tenses in English. The past perfect is also called the pluperfect. It is used to talk about something that happened before something else that is also in the past. So, the past perfect has two principal functions. We're going to see when to use this past perfect. So it has two principal functions. The first one is when the action took place before another action in the past. The second function is when the action had a duration before another action in the past. So we are going to see some example of these functions in the examples. So let's see the structure first of all. So the structure. In the affirmative way, we are going to have a had plus past participle. Obviously, before had, we are going to have our subject, which I forgot to put here. We're going to have our subject, and then we're going to use had. Then we're going to have our verb in past participle form. Even we're going to use had even with the third person singular. We're going to use only had and then past participle form. In the negative form, we're going to have our subject, then the contraction, or if you prefer not using the contraction, you can use had not, but this is the contraction, hadn't. We're going to have subject plus hadn't or had not, then the verb in past participle, then it will be you hadn't spoken, she hadn't spoken. As you can see, even if we had the third person, we're going to use only had or hadn't in the negative way. For the question form, we're going to have the auxiliary before the subject, which is the auxiliary is had, so it's going to be before the subject. It's going to be had plus subject plus verb in the past participle form. So it's going to be had you seen, had they seen, or had she seen, had it seen. So let's see some examples of the functions that I mentioned before. So the first function, as I said, it's when the action took place before another action in the past. For example, when her friends arrived, my sister's party had already begun. Another example of this function is by the time I woke up, my brother had finished his breakfast. So the second function is when the action had a duration before another action in the past. So it's going to be my cousin had played the guitar for years before he joined the School of Music. Another example, I had saved money for years before I got a billionaire by lottery. And of course, it is a fake scenario. So, okay, that was all. I hope you understood my explanation. And that's all. Thank you for watching and your attention.